That being said, nobody jumped up and down and thinking that you have a question. Awesome. You may begin.
Okay guys, looks like the final round's about to get underway here. Both players shaking hands. About to get into it. Here we have.
Alright, so we see the team we mentioned before of Coco, Magnezone, Tapu Lele, Gyarados, Garchomp and Drifblim. And on the other side of the field we have Garchomp, Tapu Koko, Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Snorlax and Celesteela, which is a much more standard team.
Yeah, okay, so I think interesting matchup here. What are we looking at? What do you think Feral is, Zoe?
I think that...
I think Coco's definitely worth bringing here.
Yeah, I think so. But it's a bit of a strange matchup. I think the Snorlax is like not in a great spot here, which is pretty rare, because Snorlax is usually against like slower teams, but this variant of Zoe's team really like doesn't rely on that super hard. So unless Snorlax really gets a lot of defense, it won't be too good. I think something like you have to bring Arcanine here, and probably Tapu Koko. But aside from that, it's a little bit difficult. Magnezone really makes this matchup quite rough.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether or not she chooses to lead with Tapu Lele Drifblim. Setting the tailwind, allowing Tapu Lele is going to put some big damage out into most of Zoe's team behind the Celesteela. She does have the two electric types to cover that, so I don't know.
I think something like Arcanine, Garchomp, Tapu Koko and Tapu Fini is probably the way you would go in this matchup.
Yeah, for the first round, I think you'd want to play safe. Snorlax doesn't have a great matchup here,
We do know that on Shoma Hanami's team, what this is based on, the Magnezone actually has Sturdy instead of Magnet Pull.
Yeah,
which makes Celesteela a little bit more bringable here, but I'm still not sure if you want to bring it against Magnezone Tapu Koko.
Yeah, also interesting to see whether she has that Magnet Rise, giving it the levitate ability for a few turns, able to dodge those Garchomp attacks, which will definitely improve the matchup here.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the way here. Okay, so we have Dorothy leading Tapu Fini, Arcanine, solid lead here.
Yeah, I think that's a really stock standard lead into Drifblim teams, because with Tapu Fini you get rid of Lele's psychic terrain, and then it's a lot less. It pressures you a lot less offensively.
Yeah, the damage output's just not quite there.
Yeah, and with the Arcanine as well, you can cover other potential leads by getting Intimidate down, and you're pretty free to just switch into something as long as you can take the hit.
Yeah, okay, we see the psychic seed proc as we thought it would.
Yeah, so this gives Drifblim its Unburden ability, which makes it faster than almost anything in the game.
Yeah, it doubles its speed once it removes its item. So it gets a +1 special defense and double speed.
Yeah.
You can really set up, Tailwind, go for Shadow Balls. It'd be interesting to see what fourth move she has, on the Drifblims.
Yeah, they can run so many.
Yeah, there's Disable, Swagger, I don't know, the list goes on. You can run just about anything on the fourth move there and get away with it, so it'd be interesting to see what Zoe's chosen.
I think it's interesting to see what Drifblim can do other than set up Tailwind in this matchup, because it doesn't look like it has much offensive pressure, and because of the misty terrain, moves like Will-O-Wisp won't be useful at all. Yeah, the Tapu Lele does threaten the Arcanine here with some damage, and of course the Fini as well, but because Flare Blitz does so much damage to Tapu Lele, and the misty terrain has overridden the Psychic, there's really not a lot it can do, so...
Yeah, if Daljon can go for a Carmine here with the Fini, okay, he's going to withdraw it, stand up.
Yeah.
Switching to the Coco. Yeah, that's not a bad switch in, I guess. It's going to pressure that Drifblim here. It may take a potential Psychic.
Yeah, so Drifblim does fire a Shadow Ball off into the Arcanine slot here, which really doesn't do too much damage.
It
does get the special defense.
Okay, that could be... Oh, brings out Wild Charge. Okay, yeah, switching in the Coco there, getting the electric terrain. Yeah,
nice,
very nice. Just taking it from that one shot, so it's good to see. Fusion, yeah. The Psychic, if this goes into the Arcanine, yeah.
I think at that range it probably would have KO'd.
Yeah, I don't think the special defense is huge after that recoil damage. Definitely a good turn for Dal there,
And on the original version of this team, the Lele did run specs, choice specs, so if she is holding true to that, I don't think the special defense drop is incredibly important.
Yeah, definitely. What can you expect to see? Okay, Snorlax comes in here.
Interesting choice to bring Snorlax in this matchup, I think.
Okay, we have the Magnezone here. It's nice and home with the electric terrain.
Yeah, so Snorlax is running high horsepower, which we actually haven't seen today. It does really threaten the Magnezone a lot, and just neutral damage on Lele with return actually does so much that I think a double from Coco and Snorlax will knock out the Tapu Lele here.
Yeah, Daljon's definitely putting on a lot of defensive pressure here. Tapu Koko with Thunderbolt, the Snorlax with the potential high horsepower, the return.
In the same way, I think Magnezone really walls the Tapu Koko so much. I think the Koko should probably go for a Volt Switch here into Lele, because it is probably specs and can't protect from it. And then doing that could get into a better position to make sure Snorlax can take over the game a bit more.
Yeah, that's right. Especially if he has Garchomp out there. So getting free switches to Garchomp would be pretty nice.
Yeah,
being able to outspeed. Okay, the top of the early switches out here.
Yeah, so Garchomp does come in, which would stop that potential Volt Switch, so we'll see how Dushin reacts to this.
Okay,
And yeah, it does go into the Garchomp.
That's fair. Okay, we see a Z move here. I think
that's the electric Z from Magnezone coming
Okay, this
out.
could do some really big damage to that Snorlax.
Yeah, the terrain boosting it.
Yeah, 100%. You know, you got have it coming out here. Probably going to target Snorlax.
Yeah,
You'd think so.
Wow.
Oh, it's into Tapu Koko. Interesting choice there. I think.
Maybe identifying.
Oh, okay, we see.
Oh, and it hangs on.
It just hangs on barely with 1 HP.
And return does come into the Garchomp slot, doing about 50%.
That's doing some nice damage there. Yeah, Tapu Koko surviving. That's pretty big.
Yeah, because now it outspeeds the Garchomp and can threaten with a Dazzling Bleed. And if Magnezone tries to punish Tapu Koko, Snorlax can go for a high horsepower to deal back. And we have to remember that Dushin also has Tapu Fini in the back, so that threatens Garchomp when it does come in.
I think he'll definitely be trying to take out this Magnezone here. It's huge threat to Fini out back, so...
Yeah, and with Shoma's original team, he didn't run Poison Jab or anything like that to hit Tapu Fini super effectively, so it should be in a good spot when it does come out.
You see the Garchomp protect.
I think this is fine for Dushin though, even though he's not going to get the Dazzling into it.
Yeah, he's going to break that sturdy on the Magnezone. If he goes for high horsepower and hits, it's going to clean up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, definitely help that Fini out now.
And the Fini, the Koko takes itself out.
Okay, yep. Confirm on that.
That should be fine though. Oh,
okay,
and it pulls out the Magnet Rise.
Yeah, very well played there.
Stylish.
We'll see what this Snorlax goes for, you know. High horsepower.
High horsepower.
Okay. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Applauded by the crowd. They're excited. We're excited.
Now Garchomp's in a better spot here because we mentioned that it can't hit the Fini super effectively, but now it's free to Earthquake next to its own Magnezone.
Yeah, that's a really big thing there, being able to get that free chip down. Earthquake's
yeah, absolutely. Because otherwise it might be forced to Rock Slide or make a really readable Protect with the Magnezone, forcing Dushin to make an easy attack on the Garchomp. But in this situation, there's a lot more options. It's harder to read for Dushin.
I'd be interested to see what this Tapu Fini is running. Might be able to try and stack up some Calm Minds here now that Electric Chain's over. Probably take those Thunderbolts, but I think his main priority should be trying to get rid of this Garchomp.
Yeah, I think so. The Magnezone is like a huge issue though. If Tapu Fini has a way to knock out the Magnezone, I think it really needs to go for it. So something like a Specs Hydro Pump or even a Water Z move, something like that could be really valuable here.
We'll see Super Check coming out here. It's confirmed it's not choices of any kind. The Earthquake comes out, yeah, Magnezone's going to levitate above that, rise above.
And that's good damage to have on Snorlax, absolutely.
Yeah, any damage on Snorlax is nice.
Thunderbolt hits the Fini.
Into the Fini, yeah.
Oh, Snorlax sets up the curse.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. This next Earthquake's going to proc that 50% berry. If it does that, Snorlax is going to be in a really good position here.
Yeah, and because Tapu Fini was saved for later, the electric terrain no longer is here, so Magnezone can't knock out the Snorlax before the berry comes up.
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting turn. Even though the Magnezone does have the Magnet Rise, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see how this plays out.
I think the Tapu Fini is in a bad spot here if it can't take out the Magnezone.
Yeah.
But I think there is a chance it can do that.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, Protect comes out from Garchomp here, protecting itself from a Moonblast or something like that. Thunderbolt does come out here into the Tapu Fini.
That's going to do some
doing a lot of damage.
Okay, well, it looks like we're seeing the
Water Z move coming from Tapu Fini.
Very interesting on the Fini slot there. You don't see too much of that going around.
We also see Fini underspeeding the Magnezone.
Yeah, it's definitely a slow Tapu Fini there.
Yeah.
Interesting spread, slower, bulkier variant. I think this will pick up the KO, to be honest.
Yeah, I wonder if that's speed on the Magnezone or if it's like negative speed Fini.
Yeah.
And the Water Z does come out.
Okay, yep, that picks up KO.
So Snorlax is looking really good here because it's going to get a free berry at some point because nothing should be able to take it out from this point. We will see how it goes though. So Tapu Lele does come out, which actually can knock out the Snorlax here. So I think...
Yeah, especially if it's a choice spec variant. Like, it's threatening...
Yeah, absolutely. I think Dushin has very limited outs to this. I think he just takes because he has too slow a Pokemon. I'm pretty sure he just gets knocked out.
Yeah, I think
a big misplay would be if he Earthquakes, gets the Snorlax to Pocket's Berry, and then it lives and takes out the Tapu Lele. So we need to make sure that he doesn't do that.
Yeah, okay, so...
And he does just go for the Protect, avoiding having to do that.
Yeah, that's
nice.
fair enough.
That's a really good play.
Okay, the Tapu Fini protects, yeah, doesn't want to take any damage from that potential side.
Because most likely Garchomp's other attacking move is Rock Slide, so even if you don't get the double Protect, it's still really good.
Okay, yeah, so it's,
well played.
They just kind of knocked that Snorlax out.
That's really good awareness from Zoe, making sure that she's not proccing the berry.
Yeah, definitely. Sitting comfy in its own terrain here. I think, Zoe just looks actually taking this one. I don't think there's much Delgene can do with that Fini at the HP it is, and being so slow.
Even with the reveal of the Water Z-move being able to take out the Magnezone, she still manages to put up a really good fight here.
Yeah, okay, so Tapu Lele, going to get power off the sidekick here. Should pick up the KO.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, so that's game 1 in Zoe,
That was a really good game. The Magna Rise from Magnezone really turned it around.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a tech Delgene needs to be careful of. May try and catch that Magnezone in on the switch with an Earthquake.
Yeah, it's a big issue with trying to use Snorlax to counter it as well, because it's always going to be slower, and Snorlax typically don't run Trick Room on the same team, unless you're running with something like Mimikyu.
Okay, so I don't think it's worth bringing the Snorlax again. It didn't do much that game.
I think given how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, because of that Magnet Rise.
The Fini's speed is also a really strange point.
Yeah, the really slow Fini here. Potentially, I don't know if that's going to hit. So for game 2, we'll see how that was really adjusts here.
Yeah, interesting. I don't think Snorlax is really a great bring here, because even if, like, the Drifblim also resists, like, both of your attacking moves.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it means the return.
And with 2 Tapus of its own, like, it's actually not that difficult to get a Will-O-Wisp onto the Snorlax, so it's really just not the same threat that it has against other teams.
That's good.
I think some combination of what we said before, like Garchomp, Arcanine, Tapu Fini, and Tapu Koko is probably the best way to approach this, especially now that we know that Arcanine has Wild Charge, which both means it's probably more offensive and faster, and it's really great tech for the Gyarados, so we'll see how that plays into it.
I don't think it's definitely not worth bringing the Celesteal here. Double Electric is just going to maul that.
Yeah, I think that Arcanine Fini is still a really good lead here, because you do like stop the Lele's offensive pressure straight away.
Exactly. You stop at turn 1, that's what you need to be doing.
Yeah, you just need to make sure that you can do that later in the match as well. And with this sort of unusual Fini spread, it's a little bit strange to like see how this game will play out, because Magnezone actually threatens Fini so much.
Okay, so is Zoe locked into her for at the moment?
Yeah.
Pretty early on. I think she has her set game plan. I don't think she needs to shake up the leads too much.
Yeah, I think Arcanine would just be a really nice adjustment here, because you do have Dazzling Gleam from the Tapu Koko, you have your own Garchomp, you have Tapu Fini, so like you have enough ways to deal with Garchomp, which is the biggest threat to the Arcanine, and then it improves your matchup versus things like Gyarados, Magnezone, and the opposing 2 Tapus, as long as you have Misty Terrain on.
Yeah, I think keeping Arc around a bit longer will go a long way here in dealing with the Magnezone and Koko. We get nice Flare Blitz off is
you have to consider as well that Wild Charge gives you a lot more recoil damage than Flare Blitz does, so hitting the Drifblim on turn 1 really put Arcanine in a position where it couldn't do that much.
He took the KO, but essentially it put him backwards a bit, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
Taking too much recoil damage. Arcanine just wasn't able to do enough. Drifblim wasn't a huge threat there. So, okay, you'll see the same.
Arcanine Tapu Fini. I think that's probably the best lead you can go for in this matchup. And Lele Drifblim again.
Okay, same leads from both ways. Yeah, I think, fair enough. We can't...
I'm not really sold on this Drifblim lead from Zoe. It seemed... I mean, she won the first game, but Drifblim was really not a big part of that.
Yeah, a fight off a Shadow Ball. I guess she may go for a Tailwind here and try and sweep.
I suppose. Now with the information that Arcanine does have Wild Charge, it can play around it a bit.
Yeah,
Drifblim typically doesn't have Protect anyway, so we'll have to see.
I think maybe a potential Garchomp switch in here on the Drifblim slot.
Yeah, something like a read from Dujin to use like a Water Z-move on the Fini could really like catch out the Drifblim switch.
I think definitely, he needs to try and work something out here. Catch something on the switch, get some damage off. Yeah, that Tapu Lele, it's probably going to look to switch out again like it did.
Arcanine still is really good here though.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can't knock Arcanine back. It's in a nice position.
I mean, just to know the other moves on Tapu Fini.
Yeah.
Because it did show the Water Z, so maybe things like Taunt or Haze, stuff like that. Could be interesting, because if it did have Calm Mind, it sets itself up against this Tapu Lele so well, and even the Magnezone, you can start taking its attacks a lot better.
Yeah, that's right, mate. A +1, taking a Thunder, what a +1. Okay, so we see the Fini switch out here.
I think that's fair enough.
I think that's fair enough, yeah.
Once you've gotten rid of the terrain. He's just going for the same play again.
Might be going for the same play here. He doesn't want that Drifblim giving him too many shenanigans, but
Driftwind says up tailwind.
Yeah, just up tailwind this time. I think that's nice. If it does die here,
yeah, with the Specs Layla here, it threatens the Coco a lot,
Okay,
even
yeah.
if the Driftwind goes down. Because now he can just bring in Garchomp.
yeah. So we get some free switching here. Something that's going to be very fast, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Under that tailwind. Yeah, that pretty cool damage.
Oh, the Tapu Lele Thunderbolt's the up.
Okay. Oh, Thunderbolt's the Finny. That's still doing, putting up some big damage there.
I think Zoe could even get away with like earthquaking her own Lele if she needs to. Just because like Garchomp has so much pressure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And even if he chooses to switch in to the Tapu Fini on one of these slots, like that potential specs what we think to be Specs Thunderbolt.
Also, the Specs Thunderbolt into Arcanine probably knocks it out.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see, given it's a more offensive variant, I don't know if it'll be able to take this Specs Thunderbolt in electric terrain, so it'll be interesting to see what Dojan does here, but I don't think he's in a good position. I mean, even if he has Celestial out back, that top hill has got the Thunderbolt, I'm really sure the Magnezone will be out back, providing how well it served last game.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's almost unfortunate that the Thunderbolt doesn't 2 KO the Tapu Koko.
Yeah.
You could, because like you could Sword Stance with Garchomp in that case and really just take this game over.
Yeah, like you get a Sword Stance off from Chomp in this situation. I think that's just about it.
I think if it's Life Orb, you probably still have a chance to do that, given how bulky the Garchomp on the original team for this was.
Okay, so we do see Tapu Lele switch out here. Doesn't look like Garchomp's going to go for the Earthquake here.
Perhaps just a Tectonic Rage.
Yeah, she has the Z-Tech Rage as well as the Z-Electrium.
I think the extreme speed onto Garchomp here is good because it does put it into Dazzling Beam range.
Yeah, it's definitely worth that. Okay,
Oh, the Garchomp reveals
Sub.
Substitute.
Oh, that's really really nice at the moment.
It is.
I don't think there's much Dojon can do here at this point. He can't switch in Celesteela here. It's got a copper Thunderbolt. He can't switch in Finny.
Protect Earthquake is a pretty hard play to punish given that Magnezone outspeeds Finny.
And if I don't know, I think it's just about sealed up to be honest. Unfortunately.
Hopefully he puts up a fight though.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
This is a really good play from Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe's just been exceptional throughout today, showing that she's really got what it takes to take on some of these big name players and do well.
Interesting. So we'll see how they approach this. I think Protect Earthquake is pretty hard to punish, but we'll see. Maybe bringing the Celesteela could help, but like the Magnezone is so threatening.
If she does happen to have that Z-Tech Rage, she may want... Okay, no, it's just going for Protect here. Yeah. Magnet Rise, maybe, but I don't think it's worth. Okay, yep.
Garchomp would be first.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, yeah. Chomp's going to take a double KO here, undoubtedly.
Especially because Arcanine didn't get the Intimidate off because Chomp came in afterwards.
Yeah, Chomp behind sub.
And now there's 2 Z moves threatening while in Tailwind, so it's a really hard position to fight back to.
Even if he has... Tapu Fini's not going to fare too well here. Snorlax doesn't too much. I think it's just game.
I'm not sure there's a whole lot that can be done.
Yeah, that substitute definitely we're not predicting or maybe predicting that.
It's a good play.
Yeah, definitely a good play. Worth the risk there, I think.
Especially when there's so many of these matchups where there is an Arcanine and a Tapu Koko on the same field. You don't want to die to like a Dazzling Gleam, Helping Hand, or like Extreme Speed or something like that.
Right. It'd be interesting to see how this Magnezone's trained. On the tail end, if it does outspeed this Garchomp, it can set up a Magnet Rise right now.
Given that it outsped the Finny, I think it's an option. We don't know if it's a slow Finny or a fast Magnezone, but I think fast Magnezone probably makes a little bit more sense.
It makes a bit more sense
on a Tailwind team, especially.
On a Tailwind team, definitely to outspeed the Garchomp on the Tailwind. It's something that's definitely worth if you can get that Magnet Rise up and just not take any super effective damage from Chomp.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see how
I think most likely he'll protect the Tapu Fini and then try and KO the Garchomp, but with that substitute, I just don't think he has any chances, really. Tectonic Rage should be coming out into Doojin this Garchomp. We'll see what side this is coming from.
Oh, definitely so. She's on
yeah.
Tech Rage. Should be into the Garchomp here.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. And while that might not pick up the KO, it doesn't really matter because Garchomp has its substitute up.
Exactly right. He can, even if he breaks sub, he's got a flat
absolutely.
It's just
And with Tapu Lele in the back, there's really no threat that even if that doesn't KO.
Yeah, even in misty terrain, I don't think this Tapu Lele can much up more of a fight here.
Yeah, very well played by Zoe here. She really took control of the games, despite having Driftwind do so little in game 1.
Yeah.
And Tailwind in game 2 was actually huge because of the Garchomp switching.
Yeah, 100%. Interesting to see if the Garchomp protects and the Magnezone goes for the Magnet Rise. That just really sets up the game pretty nicely here if she goes for that.
I suppose
she
could probably just T-ball.
I think she just wins anyway. But she just T-balls, not messing around here. That's going to do some nice damage. Earthquakes and yep.
That's great. And the Moonblast goes into the protect, just soften the wound.
Okay, and yeah, okay, we see.
So we're just styling a little bit here.
Yeah, I think can't say much else about it. So he's got this wrapped up. He's going to be going. Excellent one here.
Garchomp does get the double protect here. 30% chance. Very lucky on Zoe's part.
Magzone, yep, dropping up on the ball round. It's game over, you know.
Yeah, still faster than Finny. Really surprising.
Yeah, it doesn't. He didn't adjust in game 2. He had him.
I think a faster Finny would really help this match quite a bit.
Outspeeding it, like being able to get that damage onto the Magzone, break the sturdy.
In the same way though, you do want to be slower than like at least 4-speed Tapu Lele because that bulky, nearly max HP, max defense set